Oh, do you think he's downstairs then?
Might.
I'll run down again.
No, you already did it once.
I'll
Go
do
ahead.
it.
Yeah.
I'm like the steps.
It won't
But
hurt.
we all know.
You ain't got that, Joe.
I got it. I got it.
You sure? Did anybody,
Busy, hey, you-
I brought mine.
I'm timing it too.
Here's a copy if you have one.
Yes. Oh, and I didn't know if anybody else needed, I don't know who was that.
Thank you.
You guys, I don't know if you guys had to see last time.
Oh, yeah, so I'll get these. Yeah.
No, that's all right. Well, that's good.
So this is.
This is the front street right here. That's a fair extension. That's a road, but it's not gonna be a road.
Oh, so they're gonna be- okay. That's why.
Well, we're gonna make, we maintain ownership. No, they have. They're maintaining. Sure, but they're 100% ownership and they. Yeah. No, it's theirs. This, that is the hotel, that's 40A, so that is what Verizon's currently has for their employee space. So that's the whole still. So that brick building. It's just a sheet. So if you look at. Like, so this is. This is like, yeah, kind of saying this. So that's the road. Measuring extension. This now. This building doesn't actually get down. It's the back house.
Okay.
Because it was the, yeah, and that was the. Already, that was the original.
Yeah.
So just very good. But that's the north. So that's the bill. So across the street. That's going in. So this street gets completely taken away from like here up. And it's that. And then entrances. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah, that's right.
No, it's
Thank
all right,
you.
it's at the- at the bottom.
Yeah, exactly. So the yellow.
That's the whole ring.
So the yellow is going to be that new spot, whole ranks. See the hotel. So like the park is where it should be right. Isn't it? Like kind of where we're seeing it's going to go over, right? Further than much of it. I am also. I mean, it's with the street. We're good.
I don't know. Isn't it like in the middle? Right, like in that?
Yes.
I know.
Oh,
Pedestrian plaza.
Yes.
That was their consider.
Is it good?
Yeah, so this whole side. Like that.
What's your? That's all right.
it's right on time. Okay.
Right. Right, right. But then there's,
All right, so you want to get started then?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
All right, great.
Hey, yes. Very good. Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I see.
Don't you go.
All right, I'll, come back down in.
I get, okay.
Nancy's come down, I mean,
No,
Alex come down.
this side.
All right.
Then I'll let you go.
Right, so we're gonna go the new business, public meeting gate, they come back over there. See.
You're in charge, Joe.
All right,
If you want to go through the minutes. and-
yes, we go, we'll match everybody, we go the previous minutes. Instead of, make a motion. Minutes. September. Meeting.
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion's carried.
It's carried. All right, so it's going to, new business.
I don't have anything on the new business. Yep.
Nice.
All right. Moving along.
So, the next thing we discuss is actually discuss items. I just want to put items first. We'll go from there. One of them is Eastern Development Project. Direct feed. B is Harris, Memorial Aging, Black Name Request. C, Department and Program updates. So, we go to, we're gonna skip A for right now to Steve. And we go right to item B is Harris, Memorial Bench. Black Name.
Did you guys, I sent you over the application, if you guys want to review that and discuss thoughts, concerns. Ms. Harris wants to, have a bench and memorial plaque placed in, Cal Park, in honor of Nicholas Harris and Kim Harris. Sent a, naming application for the requirement.
Do we have any memorial benches already? Is this the first one?
I mean, yeah, I don't know if there's, I mean, there may be some that exist from past years, but I mean, I don't know if we really had that.
So is this something that would end up being potential like permanent structure? So like if it's there, we never do anything around that,
I mean, according to the naming policy, I mean, I think that's kind of what the idea is. Currently, she wants to purchase the bench. I believe she plans to maintain it, or the family plans to maintain it. They're not asking for any financial assistance or maintenance on our end. How often she plans to maintain it, or how, I don't know. I don't know that we really, once it's there, can move it. I mean, it's the same with Ken Bryant Festival, for instance. We don't really have a bench naming program specifically, but this does fall under as the memorial naming policy. The parks naming application that we created.
So that means anyone who would want to, set up a bench where they're one, but would be able to do so.
I-
And it's not.
Yeah, there's a lot of concern here about I'm not familiar enough with that process. Say, yes, based on anything. You know, people, a lot of people wanted to have things in part of that. You just prove them, or is there criteria for that? Is there a time limit?
Well, it's the same criteria as the naming policy that was adopted like 6 years ago. So that same policy is what we follow for Ken Bryant Memorial Basketball. Court. And, I don't know how it's going to be in town center, but I think that's where that, you know, that was also implemented. So really, if we were following that policy, we should be looking at where this request falls in there and for justification for wanting to name a certain name after loved ones in this case. I guess it's up to the commission's recommendation. That will then get passed on to the mayor. Then he decides whether or not he wants to submit that proposal to the council. And then from there, it's to general government.
So is this something that people are prepared to speak on or vote on tonight, or would you want to review it?
Send it out.
Right.
To the-
Well, I mean, I'm not trying to put anything down by any means, but just two examples of Ken Bryant Bill and Murphy Center. Those were people that did work for our community, and I believe those were nominations made by our commission, not necessarily what's. Same thing with pavilions that we've done in the past and stuff like that. You know, we've done by people that, you know, were active in helping put things up, do things like that. Whereas, and I'm not trying to put, you know, say anything about this family, I don't know them personally, but there wasn't really anything in the description of saying, you know, he was, I mean, yes, he sat there every day, whatnot, but I don't know if he was a community member, you know, what this person actually did. You know, I don't want to say deserving, that's not the right term for it either, but kind of like Al said, I mean, if you can make the decision to say yes, we'll bring ourselves up to saying yes to anything that comes through. I don't know what we've done in the past. I don't know the answers to that.
And I don't, no,
Yeah, the Harris.
This is the same thing that, like you're saying,
The Harris
we
part.
discussed as far as, you know, nothing against them, but
Right.
if you should do one, you know, I don't know, it sets the precedent for the future.
They're gonna,
But,
they want it down.
but,
So they have to go down. Because he was
and they-
107.
Murphy Center. That was long. Drawn discussion with presentations for and opposing. For that to happen. It was a big deal. Very huge deal.
So,
And the gymnasium.
Right.
Yeah, so I guess the real, at least from my perspective, the real thing that we consider is there is this naming policy that's out there. And I don't know how many of you have reviewed it. And so that was adopted by this commission. So I think it's probably important that everybody takes a look at that because details in that document basically allows for anyone to make these submissions. This is not,
yeah, it's certainly
Yeah.
submitted
yeah, and I'm just saying in terms of, it doesn't necessarily specify
criteria.
like, it doesn't limit certain, the only limitations are, there are limitations, I just mean, there doesn't necessarily say, it can't be a bench in a park, and it it has to be a building. I mean, it really doesn't, it's pretty broad. And so as I would imagine, someone looks at that and has someone that they feel is worthy of having a bench named after them. I mean, it almost seems like it may be two separate conversations, like naming a building, sitting in a building after someone who's passed away and having impact on the community may be different than this memorial bench or plaque program where people want to, you know, sign up to have these benches throughout the city named after someone. You know, have that.
I was just gonna
Distinctly
say
different
that.
criteria.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's, seems like maybe it's apples and oranges, you know, what we've been reviewing versus this kind of request. And if nobody has any recent knowledge of something like this, you know,
I have certainly seen them in other communities, you know, I mean, then there's bing, 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 you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, and
you know,
we
and-
do have some around the city
Oh,
that
you
that
do?
were put in a
okay.
long time ago, before we come up with any kind of guidelines. And I think the guidelines are really for structures, not necessarily for benches.
Right.
And it's usually, you know, anything we do is usually somebody that's highly involved with the concerns. Not just because somebody wants to memorialize, you know, their husband or wife, which, not that that's a bad thing, but
I mean, that's the benches around.
on the rail
Rail
trail.
trail. Yeah, I mean, that's just another. they
So
would
there
consider.
are benches there already, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah. In case,
I mean, you know, in that, not necessarily that park, but along that strip, where I'm sure that person has sat many
Right.
times. That's why she wants to put in a
Yeah.
Right,
bench for
right.
that person, but maybe that inside the park, you know, let's, we have anything coming down the pipe for that park, and future planning of potentially having to move this bench and setting this family, you know, down the road, but that's something that, you know, I don't want us to get away with, well, the commission approved this bench to be in the spot, and then we want to build, you know, I don't even know, the city decides to build something. And, right, and, you know, now we have to move this bench. I don't know any of those legal, you know, implications.
So should we?
I mean, I would like to maybe offer her a chance to come in and speak. Is that, you know, is that more a possibility? If she wants to make a presentation, we discuss our concerns with her to see if she's, you know, willing to accept maybe terms.
yeah, maybe there has to be like a notice, like a,
Yeah.
you know,
Right.
notice of movement or change or something,
Right,
you know.
for down the road.
Well, she could write something up, she didn't necessarily have to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
right,
just
right.
saying, what's the reason for this?
Well, so she did, right. So
Right.
she
And I
did.
gotta be honest,
It wasn't much of.
I have a feeling that the things that I've seen, people just did. you
Yeah,
know, before any guidelines, and, you know, the old saying, it's easier to ask for forgiveness than permission. I think people just went ahead and did it, and, you know, hopefully nobody was going to question it, and I don't think anybody has, but I see some surprise looks, you know, that there are such things around. So, you know, we might want to think about, you know, coming up with some guidelines for this, you know, this, you know, maybe an ongoing thing, especially if we grant one, you know, that's going to open the doors for more. So we might want to be prepared to have, you know, a list,
Requests, right?
a list of criteria for doing it. Not just so they got $500 there. Right. Prevention. Yeah, whatever.
Right now.
Yeah, the, but there might be a almost like the other area. Not the same. Or structure. So things that we might want to see on that, in that new policy. Was this recent, they were donating?
Yeah,
Well, that's.
so so they say, it's very hard to enforce that as well. I mean, God forbid, something happens to this, you know, this woman as well. You know, yes, she says in the description, you know, we will take care of it for life. But, you know, people move, people, you know, do things like that. And, you know, inevitably, the city's gonna be responsible for this bench.
Yes, that doesn't,
That's
that doesn't really bother me.
No.
It would be responsible for the benches of,
But that's what that's more or less. what I
Yeah.
mean. We gave the bench that's already down there, and then, you know, if we have to maneuver it or whatnot, we have to still control. You know, it's not necessarily that we're taking this person's name. I don't know. So,
we can look at the policy.
yeah,
Discuss that and see if it's, we could probably just amend that
yeah.
to include pensions and, you know,
Right.
and other memorials. Okay. And then for the more global picture to do that, and then, you know, are there criteria in it? So what are they? And does this meet them? So. Do it and make sure, limited, say, no more than 3 benches a year.
Or spot.
You want to be, you don't want to have so that years. It's,
Right. Right.
so I think the best thing is to, make the policy. I think it's best to have it before. So details. That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, she did, just to be clear, she did put together this
Yeah, oh, yeah,
application. But, you know, she put her, she followed what was asked of her, I mean, I will say that.
Maybe we reach back out and ask her to amend her submission, ask for the on bench that's already there.
The one-
Because they're all the same.
Right.
Well, that's the other thing I wanted to mention is, you know, we're trying to move towards kind of, you know, more consistency in our parks, trying to have the same types of trash cans, same types of benches.
Right.
And just thinking, now that we're talking about it, you know, it's, that's something that you consider when reviewing the guidelines, that if something is approved, you have to be willing to be in uniform with what else you have in our parks. Not,
And subject to change in the future, something like that, not that you throw it out and get rid of it, but that it be moved if the city needs to use that.
Move or change to the back, wherever it is on, where it needs to be at that time. Versus having a line of the bench and then we have another line here. You understand what I'm saying? So it'd be simplicity. So, on that, note, I think we should table this. And if we all can communicate by email, fast response, even me, probably. I'm not sure that, but, and we, you know, come back to this and, email what you need, like, over policy again, and by next month. Between that time, they can come in and, have a small presentation, maybe start what they did, application and stuff. So they present to us. That point, that's what they were.
We want to make sure that we have our policy updated first.
Right, that.
Have the opportunity.
They have, yeah, options open, but,
Have
you
to.
know,
Wouldn't the person present something probably like make a statement?
Yeah.
Or is it-
did she say? she wanted to-
I won't be able
Did she
to
give us
do
a-
it by this winter anyway.
yeah.
No, she submitted this after the July, it was after the July meeting happened, and then we were off in August. September, we discussed it. But we needed to review the application, so we tabled it.
So I think that's really good. Discussion. Real better. Right, so we'll take this, to the next,
Potentially, and review the policy for potential.
I think that's probably most important, just so that everybody understands what it actually says. Following our own policy.
okay, So now we're gonna be, jump back to, A, Houston Community Development Project. Right.
Yeah, it's, there is no, it doesn't, the guidelines of now, or,
I just want to make sure, so that,
executive session, it would have to involve medical, financial, employment history, anything to do to current litigation. But it's-
just to cover us. I just gonna, I guess, we're gonna make a decision. On the, everybody have a chance to review it thoroughly.
I think the question is, I'm sorry, to interrupt, but the question that's on everyone's mind, is just, do you know what the fee is that we're waiving?
Well, we're making a decision on if there is a need for the rec fee, and if so, what is that, cover? So total units, 143, the first four are exempt, so 139 units. The max fee, is $3,000 per unit.
See,
Okay.
That's just the max that you can assess to any of. So, similar with the other projects that we've had to look at. Our goal is to determine, any possible impacts to park spaces or programs with this new development. What's unique about this proposal, though, is that they are offering a public community space, as well as public bathrooms that they are maintaining. There's no responsibilities that fall on the Parks and Rec Department. And in terms of operation and hours, the developers at the last meeting told us they'd be following the same ordinance as the city, which is going with us. So
If I figured it out, right, it's $417,000.
that's the max. That's, you just can't exceed that. No, the way the policy reads is that 2,000 is the max that you can assess per unit for any proposal that we're looking at. With the first one.
I think that we've done that. We charged the max on each of the new developments that we assess. So, but this is a little different.
But many of them don't have any park space at all. Right? And with the park space, I was trying to figure out exactly what that was.
Oh, you're talking about.
Yeah.
Proposed. Right.
This is the North Front Street with that picture. So you can see walk through here. And pedestrian plaza.
So the park space, what's listed in the pedestrian plaza.
But there's also recreation facilities in this side, right, for the.
Right, they have- right, so they have all the amenities for things, right, it's really gonna be not necessarily. Parks. Totally different from other developments. Very unique, very updated. Definitely sold that a lot of. City actually. Facility of some sort of speak. Person is out of town. Whatever, rights and everything back. it's not the city. It's their residents. So, these, some of the highlights, right? You never see that.
Yeah, I mean, I've listened to the meeting minutes, based on what was in the last meeting that was not here. But as you can see, I mean, I don't know if anyone else has seen this on Andrea's gracefully enough to kind of provide our show. But you can see, we do have the pedestrian, yes, there's a pedestrian plaza. That's for public access, based on, the presentation and whatnot, as well as, the walkway and things like that. And as Joe mentioned, in this project itself, they have their own free space, wouldn't necessarily have to provide pavilions and whatnot with that. And they also have their own terrace, which is over this corner here, which is a good sized space, and that is for their own members of that, living in that space. That's both. So they do have the amenities like we mentioned. So it's not like I can't speak for the fact that do I think they're not going to use our parks? I'm sure they use our parks. Why wouldn't they use our parks? But at least they have the option. Whereas a couple other projects that we looked at, they didn't really have those.
And we charge $0.70.
Because they didn't have any space. Because it was literally, they would be using all parks. Whereas with this project, they have the ability to keep their own. They have their own growth spaces. They have the potential to they bring them. Like I said, they have the public plaza itself that they are opening up as an additional. I don't want to call it a park for us as a Rexton Parks and Recreation, but there is another park for the public with public bathrooms, similar to what we have down at Gallup Park, similar to what we have at Forsyth. All the amenities that we provide are being provided in this project in some way, shape.
How do we know that it's going to be open and remain open?
So the bathroom will be up to my revelation. That they will be to dust. So the bathroom, well, that's just not dust.
This is all year.
Yeah, so all year round.
Is that what we normally do with our own public restrooms?
Our restrooms, I mean, the water bathrooms, I mean, those units aren't going to be the composting. toilets,
Right.
Right, so they are handled a little bit differently. Usually shut down our facilities in November. For bathrooms, yeah, November, and then they get reopened, the first week of April, maybe the second week.
And they're open 24/7.
No, close them overnight except for on the weekends.
And I believe that, like I said, they are, right, yes.
So it wouldn't be available for the holiday.
No,
Yeah.
ours wouldn't be
Ours
available.
wouldn't be available.
This one would.
Yeah.
Like, we host a park, our parks are not available. Like we said, past them. Theirs is going to be open all year.
All day.
Dusk till dawn, so.
Right, but that does,
Six.
there's a lot of holiday events that are uptown Kingston that are.
I wouldn't
Tree
treat like, I
lighting.
mean, I can't speak for them by any means, but you're right. It's just like, there's nothing there to begin with already. We don't have any bathrooms there either. So to me, it's just an added amenity to our community for that.
Which has been brought up as a concern that uptown does not have public restrooms
Right.
for anyone.
For anyone.
We have a lot of shoppers, people walking around, and, I think a lot of us have seen, can't really just walk into a restaurant, someone's restaurant. So,
Besides the city space, stairs.
This project is going to happen, so, and they're providing some more information. So, but I think that we have to assess them some amount, because we can't say that everyone there is just going to use the facilities that they're providing. We know that we're going to come to the park. There's nothing like anyplace else like our parks that we have here. The views that we have, even if you're just going to hang out just to be, take in the sun. So I think what we need to do is come up with a number, or how many people feel that there should be any, any amount charged to them for recreation.
I see a huge benefit to the community for this, with the restaurants being there, more walking space, businesses, if people out there are going to be frequenting those businesses. But, I don't know. So, well, you did. But I agree, so, if we charge people $3,000 per unit, and if they're, the people in those units are not, also they're not provided with any recreational activity, and there's no real benefit to the community of parks and recreation. And so they would charge the maximum. If it's within our ability, I would think that we could at least consider charging less than the maximum. Don't know what that would be.
It's not a trivia now. That's the tough part about it, is you said, finding out what that number is.
Well,
And it's a one-time fee.
it's a one-time fee.
It's a one-time fee, and, there's gonna be people coming and going, these are apartments, right? So there's gonna be turnover of tenants there, and they're still going to have access to. So I think we should charge something.
What do you think?
I don't know. What? 50%, 33%, $1,000 a year? I'm not sure.
No, that's
$100?
$1,000 a unit would be $139,000.
I mean,
Is
and
that,
would be
is that a
helpful.
lot? Is that too much? Is that not enough? Is that?
I don't think that's how it's. I mean, we're going to be maintaining these parks, forever.
Not their parks.
No,
Or
not
future
parks,
parks.
not the parks. So, but I don't know. I mean, what do other people think? I think
Is that an option? Like, in the policy, like, or can you do whatever you want? I
In
didn't
terms
know,
of the
like,
number? Oh, yeah, so, yeah, there's
is there
not,
flexibility there? I was just.
yeah, the number, I mean,
Okay.
it should be based on, what we're supposed to do is look at the overall impact on the parks, on our programs, on our facilities. And so in this case, they're offering public community space on top of their own facilities for their residents. They have a pool, a dog park, there's there's restaurants, so you have to kind of look at it overall. And I will say that, so the max fee would be to 417,000. The amount of construction, maintenance over a lifetime for as long as they're facility exists, I would imagine exceeds $417,000. The city, this is basically providing a community public space that doesn't currently exist. And that's just something to consider. There-
Well, part of it is going to be actual public. The walkway. Yeah.
there's a little park or something, right?
Yeah, the pedestrian plaza. So this is
That's the
down,
walkway.
Yeah,
If you want to see the plaza itself,
it's long, it's wider than the street already.
That's the street and sidewalk.
wide. Yep.
I mean, so rather than have all these festivities that they have on town in the streets, they'll have a location that can happen.
Well, I think they'll still be the same way, just as an addition. I mean, I'm sure they would still, I would assume if they're doing a snowflake festival, they're still going to pull down the streets,
Oh,
whatnot. Because that gives advantages to all the shop owners that are on the streets. you know, still be able to do it. I think it's just an addition. They're not trying to take away.
Oh, okay.
So it's a good.
I would like to have my one.
It's good for,
Yeah, it's good for local businesses, it's good for, I mean, again, I work with them where you do as well. I'm sure you see musicians that are out and about, that are playing, and that's a space for them as well. I mean,
Right.
There's, so,
I'd like to see the streets open.
Yeah, they'll probably also mention how they, things that.
yeah,
For the recreation.
And it's safe, right?
So, the recreation.
is that it, Wendy?
I mean, I don't. What you would say.
It's a,
I think it will be. But,
to me, personally, I think that we look at these there.
right, so we don't charge $3,000, so there's, that should,
But the-
does anybody feel like they should charge them?
I mean, I feel like we put these to be in place for the fact that a lot of these parties don't even have space available for their own residents, not even for the public. And this product is both, where it covers their own residents already in that terrace area. So they give them an option to not have to enter space. And then we also get to use their own space, which is also good. You know, it's not the largest park in the city by any means, but it's still, it's a space that's there for the public. And again, do not have to maintain. You know, to me, like I said, we assess these projects in the past as well, in the future. So what is going to be the hindrance of the new units to our parks? And what's going on, whereas they are providing solutions. They're, like I said, they're providing solutions for their residents that are already there, and they're providing a solution for the public to also enjoy another park. So to me, I think they've covered their bases. Therefore, I don't necessarily see us having to change them. I think they, like I said, they covered adequately.
We're gonna have another 500 residents.
Basically.
Yeah.
+300 units.
300 plus what?
I mean, I'm just reading what everyone else is reading, so on page 8. Consumers, 300 plus.
No.
Not,
No.
but that's what they're providing to their.
And in fact,
That's right. Did you see basketball court?
Yeah, I didn't see that. I didn't see that.
You guys are seeing basketball courts all over.
Oh,
you see the basketball?
No, I did not see that.
Also, the third level below.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I didn't see it.
You see it?
But I mean, like I said, they have it going for recreation.
But that's for them.
That's for them.
Right.
And then, so that's what I'm saying. So like we assess this because these new units won't have amenities for the people that are going. They have the amenities and then some. So that's just my thought process, is that they covered their bases with that. And like I said, and are including space for the rest of the city. That we do. I could be wrong. I mean, that's, everyone else, please, speak.
Well, the 300 plus.
Yep.
Is that like, that's like 2 people.
Well, I mean, there's a bunch of different, so there's, and I don't know the numbers of those, but there's more single units than there are doubles and triples, I do know. But it doesn't look like there's a number like this map that shows. But that's why 300 plus, I think they feel comfortable by saying it's gonna be a minimum, sure. So that means that 143 units they're counting on 2 people a year. That makes sense. That's their estimates. I'm sure, I mean, again, I have no idea. Criteria looking there, I don't know anything about that, I'm just looking at the project.
Well, it's a variety of, it's non-affordable.
Well, I'm more or less meaning, is there a maximum, there's only have 3
14
units.
affordable housing apartments,
Right.
129.
Yep.
And then 32 hotel rooms.
But I don't think we're voting on the hotel.
No.
Just the apartments. The hotel is completely separate. And I don't, so. So
That would be the
yeah, just 100. So 300 people with their own terrace, what we see here, as well as the. This is, I was just talking to Andrea real quick. Does anyone remember how many units were in the gold? That we just reviewed. Was it 106? 106, 106. And there, like I said, there was no open space. Where they going to provide us with. There was, yes, they had sitting areas and certain things like that.
but no.
Nothing that was going to.
Like bathroom.
Right.
Yeah, you need.
No, this is the first.
So there'll be more.
I hope that. I hope so. This is the first new construction I think we've seen in the city in my lifetime for sure. Something like this. So I hope that would be wonderful. I have to vote on that again. To see what they're going to. But I use this as a benchmark forward. You know, it'd be nice to see, you know, this is what we have, this is what we can.
So it's not city is using tax dollars or to stuff. Is that
Not based on this package.
true?
They're saying, no, I don't know.
Yeah.
The accuracy.
Discussion.
But that's not what we're.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, I'm just saying, these dollars are also, city dollars as well. Going to benefit the city of Kingston, maybe that's district, I'm not sure, but definitely the participation department. So, I don't know, I don't know how, I'll vote, but I feel that there should be something assessed, This is wonderful that they're offering these amenities to these, to potential residents there. I just feel that there's going to be, these people are not going to be going, whenever they think about recreation, that they're going to go to, to the workout room, to, to swim, to work out, and not think about going to any of the parks.
Each state.
Stadium, that's just my, I'm not saying $3,000 a unit, but I just can't see the city losing and not gaining something, some financial benefit of this as well. I mean, I know there's a benefit because we don't have to pay maintenance or, anybody to maintain the, facilities, I mean, the park that they're offering and, bathrooms that they're offering.
If you look at it in increments, 3,000. To look at it in $500 increments, $500 would be close to
I mean, I definitely, just from, I understand what you're saying as well, but the arbitrary number for us is, we can say, well, I think it should be 500,000. We don't have any criteria for that.
Can't just.
And we can't justify it. Exactly. So maybe in the future, we come up with guidelines for, like Al said, there's going to be one project coming down this road.
Well, we have a
Great.
$3,000.
For
3,000 is the max, but what I think, so, you know, as an example, you said 500. You have to be able to explain where, you know, what the calculation is to that number. You know, for a smaller project that's not offering green space, like example before, we had imposed the maximum fee because there was essentially nothing being offered to the residents there. I think we all agree that there could be serious impacts on our programming, our facilities, parks. And so I think with this one, the question is, what are those impacts, if any, and how much of an impact will we see?
Well, there'll be 300 plus people,
with access to,
300 plus people.
with access to their own terrace as well as the new pedestrian plaza. Now,
They'll
we
be,
can
they'll
talk
be
about,
benefiting the uptown business because they'll be walking.
so what would the cost be, you know, if you want to look at it again from arbitrary numbers, what would the cost be is if we decided to put in a pedestrian plaza, would we get that $500,000? We'd be over a million.
But that's what, so what I had said before is, that, you know, I don't know what all the numbers are, all the specifics in terms of construction, maintenance over time, but I would imagine it will exceed the maximum.
I think just the
Number.
building, the making of the pedestrian plaza is going to exceed that number as well.
Maybe they'd like to present an opportunity.
I think it was, yeah, I was just saying, I think the number is 0, which is what they're requesting.
And ours is 470,000.
Yeah, that's correct.
That's a broad expense. And there's a huge benefit for the businesses. There's,
That's not, but
all of that stuff is for their positive, and they have recreation facilities. However, the 300 plus people will also use the parks. With some-
All of those apartments. So.
Yeah, there's some percentage of them will go to the parks, some every day, some once a year, once in a lifetime. So what will that impact be? And it's really not able to be, I don't know. How many people. We don't count
we
how
can't
many
be
people.
very part of that pedestrian plaza either. Which is true. So I agree, it's something to assess. So,
But I agree with you. Too much, 3,000. Something, well, that's it. If there's something, well, that's it.
I just feel that we have to justify that cost or that number. And how do that,
Well, the $3,000, you can justify is, you can go with $3,000.
but I think, right.
But, you know, and I don't know if that's ever justified. Is it $3,000? How do we know that that's $3,000? I don't know, somebody made that.
yes, they did.
So, and that's what we've been going by. So is there a number that we want to use? Between 0 and half of it? Because they have a lot of stuff in play. And this is just rambling line. So it may not make sense.
Questions like this, we have to make this decision.
I mean, you know, I think that we should try, I mean, listen, if there's still lingering questions that we have for the developers, which, I mean, I asked everyone to pull lists together, no one really had any initial questions, so to me, I don't see a reason that we want to delay it further. If
No.
we have all the facts, if we have all the numbers, I think it really just, I think that, you know, we need to make our recommendation one way or the other, so that the planning board can take that into consideration, you know, when they make their determination. Ours is a recommendation. It's passed on to the planning board, they then decide, you know, steps.
So the planning board can still decide to say, and they can go up their arbitrary number by saying, Parks and Rec Commission wants the full 3,000, or the Parks and Rec Commission wants 0. We are gonna come in and say they need to pay 500, 1,000, 1,500,
I mean,
Or
we're,
let's see.
but they can see it.
Yeah,
Right.
right. So we, if we think that there is, that we should be getting, some amount of money, then we have to present a number. You know, because it
And the
doesn't
planning
have
board
to
can make
be
that
accepted, you know, but at least it's a number. And I don't know. You know, you're saying that there has to be a reason, you know, some kind of justification. I mean, just how do you justify anybody
I mean,
going to
3,000
the community using?
or 0. Because you can't justify the
Parks
0.
don't charge a fee to get in, so, you know, so you can't say, based on. the
You
fact
can't
that-
charge 0 if you look at the justification, because someone will be using.
but it's the impact, I guess, is what we need to look at, you know, and of course, people are gonna use, especially the nearby facilities.
First side would be the primary.
Stadium and baseball in that area.
Travis to release.
Say again?
I was asking Travis to say.
Oh,
About the common council, so we can make our recommendation, and it goes to the common council. The common council can then say, we've seen the recommendation or heard the recommendation from the Park and Rec Commission. But so if we say, we decide we want to charge them $3,000 a unit, they can just come back and say, we're not going to charge them anything.
no, you're not planning.
Or plan.
Yeah.
And vice versa. Come in and say, we want to charge $1,000 a unit. Planning board will come back and say, we want to charge them $3,000. We want to charge them $2,000. So ultimately, we're not in charge of coming up with that. That is not on us to come up with that, because we don't have that. That's not what we're here to do. We're here to make a recommendation on if we should charge them the fee or not charge them.
Question for you as the director is, do you see an impact as a result of things that we on our parks or recreation?
I mean,
And if so, how significant, you know? Because you know more about this than I do.
oh, as you said before, Travis said, this is the first project of this kind that has been brought to me since my time in this position. So it's not like we have much to compare it to. If proposal is stating there's only 300 new residents, you know, we're not sure until we get numbers and projections, don't final numbers, but, you know, seniors, I mean, it seems like it's geared towards seniors and nesters, that's kind of what the developers are saying. I don't know that we're gonna see a lot of children necessarily, but that's not definite. You know, when I think of the parks and I think about programs, I think of what we offer the most. Most of our programming is geared towards children. So that's kind of where my mind has been at, trying to see when we have 50 more kids signed up for summer camp. They're saying they don't think they're gonna have many kids. I don't. We're just basing it off of the projections. So it's kind of hard to say. I'm looking at what they're providing. They're providing a community space, providing public restrooms. That's more than any other development that we've seen so far. So,
That sounds more like a concern for the city overall.
What?
Providing bathrooms to the public and,
That falls under.
Well, if it's in a public space, I mean, most of our restrooms throughout the city, all of them are maintained by our staff. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. So do we have to come up with a number or can we just say, well, we think that there's, I mean, that we think that there's a need to, that we think that it's fair for them to pay some portion of the $3,000? Or do we have to come up with a dollar figure?
Yeah.
And then the
Is
council.
there, the question is, or is there a waiver for it? That's the ask. The ask is waive the full fee. And so,
Who's asked?
isn't that
There's
the
no.
question?
Well, we're supposed to make a recommendation. It's not necessarily whether or not to waive the fee. It's recommending, hey, should there be a fee? And if so, what is
Oh, we
that
do have
fee? I mean, that's at least the way it was handled in the previous development.
Yeah, well, that was easy because.
And how many-
Yeah, yeah.
right.
Pretty clear cut.
I just think going forward, I mean, if we give a number, I think we need some kind of formula, how we
Yeah,
came to that, just in the future, if it's a little bigger development or smaller, this is our first go at this. I don't know, I think there needs to be more,
Percentage of-
written, more
Yeah, the
specific.
breakdown definitely
Yeah.
should be there.
some type of format.
I don't, I'm not formula, but just,
Well,
because I just think this could present future, but knowing that no one's ever done this before, that's what
And,
makes it.
and for the next developer, that comes in and builds those additional ones, if you recommend a zero pay, a full waiver, you do that for the next one. Next one. Or do you say, no, it's 3,000, or no, we're going to charge 10%, 20%.
Well, you can't do that to the artists. So
But
you can't base everything on. You got.
But you set a precedent.
But
We set a precedent for this one. It's going to be brought up at the
Yeah.
next one. Well, for sure. It's one way or the other. If you go with the 3,000, you go with zero,
I,
you go
yeah.
with 60,000.
And I agree with that 100%. And I think we need some sort of guideline for that. But that might, that, obviously, I can't have it Friday. So, but I agree with you. Similar to what we kind of discussed with the
bench, same
No,
thing.
I agree with that, yeah, and I'm with you 100%, but we don't have any of those guidelines. And we could put that committee together to go over those guidelines and to try to figure that out, but I don't think we can do that for this project. I mean, if we make the decision on this project, what we want to do, and then, in the future, we can, like you said, there could be more projects down the road that's similar to this. It's exciting to see for our city. And at least if we can see if this one gets to the first hurdles.
Consider accusing myself. I am so sorry. Never. What's that? Yes. And there's always the potential that something of this magnitude could go there.
Nothing forward on that.
No, no, no,
Oh,
no, nothing to do with this. This vote is just that, and I don't know that I need to review myself, which corporation council. Because if something related to that project. I need to not be biased. So I don't know if I should accuse myself or not. I needed to make that clear. That I'm in that position. But that's a concern that just popped in. I should share. It has nothing to do with the record. Nothing.
Steve, that, you know, we asked him his opinion, you know, as being our liaison to the common council. Whatnot. What do you think?
Well, here's what I would say administratively speaking. Because as you all, I'm sure know by now, I am not here to voice any opinion in this matter. I was part of the body that crafted the legislation about the fees. And certainly in hindsight, we probably should have addressed the in-between a little bit more, or we could say the maximum of this, we should have put some guidelines, but that's neither here nor there right now. Unfortunately, for you folks, and this body is strictly advisory, not administrative anymore. So your task, as uncomfortable as it is, such as life, you really have to make a decision, recommendation, one way or the other. Whether you feel bad about it, whether you feel good about it, ambivalent about it, really, you don't have a choice. This is your function. And when this is put before you, you really, you can't say no. It's a bit of an offer. You really can't. And, you'd be making it difficult on everybody else, including, the planning board. They want to move forward. They don't want it hanging over the head. They need a recommendation from you. And it is, as everybody said, it's a recommendation. So, you can't lose sleep. They're going to do what they think is best, whether they agree with you or they disagree with you. Ultimately, they're going to do what they think has to be done. So, don't feel bad. Don't feel obligated. Don't feel. You don't have to have any feeling. You really should take your feelings, and I think that's what Al's trying to say. This is not easy. This is not easy. Something like this is never easy, but you signed on for this, so you're all big boys and girls now. So you got to take the bitter with the sweet. You're doing a job like this because sometimes there's not a lot of people that want to do this kind of job. We have numerous vacancies on different boards and commissions because people don't want to. They don't want to put themselves out there. People have. I did this for 20 years. And there was a tough choice to be made. But I think moving forward, so that part has to be done. But moving forward, I think the general opinion is we got to craft that document a little bit more to help everybody else in the future, and it might be you guys. You're helping yourself out, but it's going to be very tough to put a dollar figure on. It's easier to say yay or nay, either nothing or the whole thing. That's the easy part. It's very difficult coming up, with a number. I don't know if you've ever served on a jury. Well, it's kind of the same thing. You get in there. Sometimes a jury, you have to come up with a number. And that is really tough. And I was was on a jury like that one time, and it's really tough. It's just so many things are arbitrary, and just your opinion as to what's gonna happen to that person who just filed a lawsuit in the long run. We don't know, and we don't know about a lot of the things here we're guessing at is how many people are gonna be here, how many single families, how much are they gonna use, what farms are they gonna use? Lindsay can't say, you know, this is needs, I'm gonna have to put a crew out an extra day a week, you know, to pick up trash. And she has no way to determine that. You know, by the same token, I'm sure you guys have been thinking about this. You know, I don't know if it keeps you, you know, sometimes things like this keep you awake at night, thinking about things like this and who it's going to affect. But bottom line is, you are the people. You are the ones that can make the decision. I can't help you with that.
Right. So,
Can you just speak to the original purpose, since you said that you were part of backing of this?
Yeah, when we come up with that, and we,
Yeah, what was the original purpose for choosing to have this process? What was the rationale?
Asking for the fee.
because you have a complex or, you know, 6 or more units coming in, you know, that may or may not have people in it that are going to impact the services. That's really, it's very simple. We didn't invent this. You know, Kevin and I saw it someplace else in action, and we decided to give it a shot. And yeah, there is an impact. You get 300 people coming in, it may or may not, and I don't think, you know, over the years, I don't think there were many proposals that came forth, you know, that had a lot of amenities. Usually it's just buildings. You know, you didn't see that. You know, there were talk of some that, you know, they were going to put in parks and stuff like that, but they never came to fruition. So this is kind of, as Al said, this will get precedent here. One way or the other, I guess, for better or for worse. This is probably the first one that I've sat in. I can't even. That's about it. That's about all I can tell you.
Does anyone have anything else they wish to voice before we potentially vote?
So we're voting yes or no?
so is, yes and no. What's
You're-
your view?
You're voting on whether or not this development to, if we need to impose a fee in the yield farm plan. That's, I believe, the exact title of the document. It's the rec fee in the yield farm plan. Looking at all the documents, looking at all the figures of what's being provided to residents, what's being provided to the community, what impacts could we potentially see on our parks, programs, and facilities. From there, we are to make a recommendation on whether or not there's a fee, and if so, what should that be?
So, this time. And right? Well, that's the principle.
I have to learn not to. And told 53,000 for them provided what they are going to give to the public as well as their own people who live there. I think a situation like this, when you have that available to you, I think they do use it, the people living there, not that they wouldn't go to parks and they're totally missing out. But if we had a medium, I have a hard time. So I'm going to say.
Awesome. thing to say. I've never seen a project like this, and I hope that we get more. Okay, and this is a step for that. When we were talking about that bench thing, and I said that other communities have that, you know? And when you go to new towns or whatever, you're seeing projects like this. There's living area, there's retail, and I'm hoping, because I don't know, if they have that community space. But we have been offered that. Hope that we have that space all the time. I really, really do. I just have to hope. I think, just like you said, $3,000 is a lot. And I'm excited for the program, for that project. I really, really am. I have to say that for a fee.
Is the vote just $3,000 or not?
But I- but how-
That's the maximum amount.
Right.
That was just a question.
Say,
I have to recuse myself.
Yeah, definitely is something that is new. I think it would choose a way that and the way that development, consideration additions that would be conducive to the public space. I think maybe the original intent of it was because they had included those type of amenities, so they have of the city spaces to accommodate better. So it looks like they are offering some things that are going to be beneficial to the community that are already here, as well as taking care of that are going to be living that pose too much on our spaces. So I think for the vote, yes or no, without a partial in the middle, it would be, you know,
To piggyback on everything I've said before, as well as we all discussed, just the name of the fee itself. Fee include a fund. And to me, they provide fund. So therefore, I'm an adequate, parkland. At the moment, again, my opinion could change down the road of what adequate parkland means, what this community space could mean as well, but at the current time frame, based on what we're asked to define on, in lieu of parkland, I do not think that there is something.
well, I feel that this all sounds great, you know, it's idealistic. And I feel that there in the city of Kingston, but do I think that they should pay $3,000? No, I don't. Do I think that some fees should be paid? I say yes to that. So I don't know how much that would be because, you know, like I said, this is the first time. So I want to say yes, but since we have, no way of, we're setting a precedence here, I don't know if there will ever be a project like this. I would say, yes, I think that there should be some. I know it's in lieu of parkland, but realistically, our parks and recreation facilities will be impacted in some way. I'm going to say yes, even though.
Sure.
I'm going to agree.
Sure, sure.
That's the way, seeing it this way, because, idealistically, all of this could be different. I mean, we may be looking at, the people who are developing this may be looking at it being for, people who don't have children or, but that can change. There should be some type of, but I don't know what a dollar figure would be for that. That's just the way.
The last vote. I use project, project now that's revised. Some of the recordings with that, everything. And to me, this is something he's never had. To me, this is something that you would never know what's there until it gets there. And then when it gets there, it could be like, wow, it's so beautiful. I just want, and I like to do working order. And this is very clear to me personally about what's going on here and what they're doing to enhance the uptown area and keep security. Also, the attraction that's going to bring up there. I just think that it's done right. A lot of things consideration. Sort of advisory, everything else. Listen to all the commissioners here. And everybody has a solid value. But I have to vote no. So forward to enhancing the top area, to the part of there, to the Department of Recreation. We're going to be using these facilities also. And see the change. Change is good sometimes. That's for everybody. I just wish the best. I wish that everything was paper. Will be up there. Look at it. I wish that all work on clarity and the things done the right way. So that's my reasons. I just would like to thank everybody for taking the time to go on this project. I pray that we all look forward to working together as a team, being strong in all sorts of ways, making decisions. I also like to request that when it comes to this in the future, that we have a number breakdown. That's necessary for us to know, for us to have. I think this relevant is very important. I agree. So that's my conclusion.
All right.
Now, is that a request we could ask, is that common council, we would ask to review that policy again to potentially get something like this going forward?
I think we could just amend the current policy.
Yeah.
Do we need approval? I want to run by.
Oh, I'm sure we would get approval. If it was like a voted document by council, I think we would have to, would we have to make a request to amend it? Right, that
Trying to remember, yeah, that must have been voted on by the council. I don't recall, but it had to be, yeah, so, yeah, we would have to get the amendment.
slowly, I have a whole department program updates. I will let you know that everything is running well. You guys are in good hands. Yeah,
Thank
no,
you, Lynn.
seriously though, our summer programs are officially over. We are in full swing of fall programs.
Lindsay, I have to go get my granddaughter, but I just want to say, you probably heard past the phase 2 for Point last night. We passed the
Yes.
bond ordinance,
Oh, great.
so everything is good.
Very good.
Everybody really felt positive about it, especially me. I've been looking for that for forever, it seems like.
Yeah.
So that's very exciting stuff. So.
Is that, say that's the point? Okay, phase 2. So that is the direction of the playground?
No, the playground's open.
Yeah, no, right, yeah.
The parking lot is really what I'm.
Okay.
On the other side, to raise and level up.
Oh, great, okay. So it's not gonna be just the wetlands? or anything?
Right.
It's gonna raise
There are
up.
going to be some wetlands.
Yeah, there's
right?
some that we can.
Some designated wetland.
But at least the
Parking lot's going to be reasonable again. So it would be nice.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what I said last night, you know, people have the impression it's just softball players. You know, it's not just softball players, it's BMX, the dog park, people who use Rotary Park here. I mean, it's, people use it just to go down there, go jogging out on the streets. I mean, it's a well-used facility down there, but the parking has been atrocious. Yeah. I'm looking forward to the change. 2 elections ago, my opponent actually blamed me for the flooding down there. That was one of his campaign points. He said, I didn't know I had control over the tides, but that's all right. So,
Steve, you don't have to excuse me for her, but you don't have to leave. Just received a text stating that, vote support. House. I received a text
oh, okay.
from,
I would turn my phone off from my
yes,
wife.
exactly, somebody like,
Right?
tell you, yeah.
We on record here.
What? What's going on? All right, I'm gonna.
Just let it leave.
Can I just-
So listen, I just left, the text message from your wife, you don't have to go pick up your granddaughter.
Oh,
All right, so you can stay.
all right.
Or you can still go.
I don't know if that's good news or
I
bad
know.
news.
So Lindsay, go ahead.
Life football is going well. City is open for registration. Sign your kids up, your grandkids up. And yeah, we're moving along.
Right, so,
Things are going well. Indoor volleyball started this Monday. We have 10 teams in one division. Are you playing?
No, I never know when I'm gonna.
That's right.
are we gonna have the old 50 basketball league? I've been asking a lot of people coming to me.
You know what's funny is we had announced an over 50 intramural drop-in and nobody no one seemed interested. It was last year.
No, this is.
Yep. What? Oh, it's a different year now. Oh, so-
Yes,
You'll
that's
be
the
old
question.
even for that lady.
Excuse me, Steve. Huh?
You'll be old even for that lady.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm listening.
We're gonna have to make another division.
It's got a good section.
Yes.
No, I don't. We're-
All right, so
All right.
any old business?
Oh, yeah, we did.
Nope.
Okay.
I don't think there's anything on there, right?
All right, so I'm gonna make a motion to adjourn this.
Or do we want to ask, do we have public comment? Public?
I didn't know public comments was on the agenda.
No, we don't.
I mean,
We usually give it to the.
Yeah, you can.
Sure. I mean, I think I've known probably to a few of you, obviously, to the public council especially. My name is Andrew Vincent with Control Pomodoro. We're obviously, one of the firms engaged in litigation with the Kingstonians, so of course, I wanted to see what you think. The discussion was about the tonight, obviously, so thank you all for having me. I will note, although it doesn't seem like I missed anything at the beginning of this meeting, the building is locked. And I think a few other people are trying to attend. I think they renovated, obviously. I will note as well, obviously, one of the things we've pointed out to common council and other boards and organizations before, and I know that obviously this body is advisory, and at the end of the day, as you all said, it's the planning board's decision here. You know, the parkland being given is not exactly parkland. Parkland, of course, has to be held by the city on behalf of the people. This will still be private land open to the public at certain times. And of course, I want to point out as well, between the Empire State Development Fund grant money and the DRI money, I think over $4 million was given specifically towards this project, towards the public plaza and the walkway. So, you know, we do object to the idea that they're providing this when really we're all providing it out of our own tax money. And then on top of that, our recreation fees. So obviously you've all have already made a decision. And it's advisory. And of course, the decision is really the planning board. But I did want to put that. Yes, thank you for having a public comment.
Thank you.
That was typically on the agenda for these meetings.
Thank you.
Okay, so, I'd like to adjourn the meeting.
Make a motion.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Sir.
Do a soccer game, don't you?
Thanks, Brad.
Oh, you too. Thanks so much.